Hi team, thanks for joining me today to discuss cultural competency and why this topic is going to be so important for us as we begin to partner with the Society for New Americans. The Society for New Americans will be partnering with us to offer bikes to other resettled refugees and immigrants that they have within their program. Part of the SNA mission is really to increase access to education within their different cultural communities that they serve, and the partnership with Spokes of Hope Worldwide is really going to be appropriate and lead them to a lot of success. So, how do we each relate to culture and cultural differences? I know for myself, growing up in the South, it was a very conservative household and a very conservative environment in which I grew up. A lot of the beliefs that I held as a child are very different than where I am today in my beliefs and how I interact and relate to other cultures. The community and the household that I was raised in really didn't lend itself to a lot of diversity, and we didn't embrace a lot of diversity within our community. And while some of that may be fine for most people, I knew that it wasn't fine for me. And as a young adult, I really found myself wanting to know more about others and really redefining my beliefs and values from what I had been taught as. That redefinition of my beliefs and values really expanded as I became a young adult and really led me to embrace other cultures and embrace diversity and sort of got me to where I am today versus how I had been taught as a child, which was really shunning it. So I think, as we begin to explore this partnership with Society for New Americans, the best way for us to understand and embrace these other cultures is really going to be to take a look at our own culture. So, I would have you think about things. So, what holidays do you and your family celebrate and why? How would you feel if you were in a situation where you were not able to celebrate that holiday any longer? How you grew up and growing up wherever you did, how did that really influence your beliefs of the world? So, Minority Health Today magazine wrote a great article and highlighted a few tips for how we should look at other cultures. Don't really look at others as you want to be treated, but learn how they want to be treated. It's very important for us to be able to embrace these other cultures and really learn how we should be treating them. Know where the individuals that you're interacting with were born and, where did they immigrate from? If they were a refugee, where were they, where are they being resettled from? Try to get a sense of the support system in that individual's life and also, what cultural issues they may encounter within that support system. And then finally, understand the importance of each situation. We need to individualize each situation. No two are going to be the same, and everyone will be unique. Another item that we also need to consider as we work with individuals from other culture is bias. I was raised with a lot of individuals who had a lot of bias about different things, just from, the generational issues that I saw within the South. And, we all have bias in some way, and we need to make sure that we aren't classifying individuals of a culture into specific categories. Bias can be made up of a lot of different components. It can be age, gender, race, religion, sexual orientation. But, it could also be a statement that's as simple as, all salespeople are extroverts, when that truly is not the case. They may be extrovert in their, job in order to make a sale, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that is, going to be that individual 100% of the time. So it's important that we realize and, don't use words such as all or every as we're talking to these cultures because, again, each individual, as we, engage with them, their situation is going to be unique, and we should individualize that as we move forward. Our saviors for the community services out of Minneapolis, they came up with some tips for how we should also begin to engage and build strong cultural, cross-cultural relationships. The biggest thing is remember to smile and say hello. You can never underestimate the value of how far that will go as you engage with individuals. Remember that it's not all about you. While you are there and, our team is supporting the members members of the Society for New Americans, we really need to focus the attention on what these immigrants and refugees want and not make it all about us. Learn to say names with correct pronunciations. I know my name, Amanda Llewellyn. Llewellyn is my married name, and it is Welsh. And a lot of people struggle with that. And, it really bothers me at times when people don't take the opportunity to understand how to pronounce my last name correctly. Be willing to share yourself with others. That's going to be a really common theme that we need to look at, and how we relate to these other individuals within the Society for New Americans, and open up and share things. And then finally, I think the most important thing that we need to realize is, we all are human. We all have different, things that shape our worlds that we come from, and we all have different experiences within the world. But at the core of every one of us is the basic needs and desires that we have to be treated as humans, and have compassion and care for them as well. So as we begin our partnership with the Society for New Americans, I hope that the information I've shared here today will resonate with you. I hope that each of you will be open to new experiences, remain aware of those biases as you're, coming in contact with new individuals. And remember that all the individuals that we encounter will be unique. So the tips that we discuss here today can really help you create that common ground. And then be authentic. I think it's really important for us to, like I said before, share ourselves and just be authentic in our compassion and caring of these individuals as we work through our new partnership. So thank you for the time today and allowing me to discuss the cultural competency and really how we go about building cross-cultural relationships. If there's anything that I've overlooked in the content of today's delivery, or questions that you may have about how to really be authentic, how to overcome bias, whatever it may be, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.